Prosperity does not move by chance. It moves by command. It does not wander aimlessly, hoping to find a home. It responds to the clear voice of one who knows their place in divine law. And when you begin to understand this, your entire relationship with money changes. Because you see, prosperity is not outside of you. It is not in a bank vault. It is not waiting in the hands of another. It is a spiritual force. And like all forces of spirit, it waits for instruction. The great mistake so many make is this: they whisper at wealth. They beg for it. They plead, they chase. And in doing so, they confess to the universe that they are powerless. But the one who commands, the one who speaks with authority, the one who issues the decree and then stands still, knowing it is done, that is the one who multiplies. This is why today, I must tell you something you may have never heard in this way before. Prosperity does not come because you work harder. Prosperity does not come because you try longer. Prosperity comes because you instruct it, with the certainty that heaven itself backs your word. Pause with me here. What would shift in your life if every time you touched a dollar, you did not see it as small, weak, or fleeting, but as a seed, already commanded to multiply? What would shift if when you looked at your account, instead of sighing, instead of worrying, instead of shrinking, you spoke directly to those numbers? Multiply, expand, overflow, answer the command of divine law. Do you feel the shift? Even now, as I say these words, the atmosphere changes. Because when you command, you align with the creative word. In the beginning was the Word. Everything that is seen was born from what was spoken. Creation itself is a record of command, and you are made in that same image. So when you speak with authority, you are not making something up. You are remembering who you are. Let me tell you a mystery that the wealthy have always known, whether they admitted it or not. Money obeys voice before it obeys hands. This is why some toil endlessly, working fingers to the bone, yet never break through. And others, with the right word, with the right decree, see doors open, opportunities rush, and resources multiply. It is not luck, it is law. The law that money is energy, and energy responds to instruction. Now, let me ask you, have you been commanding your money, or have you been apologizing to it? Think about it. Every time you say, "I never have enough," you are giving an instruction. Every time you sigh at a bill and mutter, "This will take everything I have," you are giving an instruction. Every time you say, "I don't know where the money will come from," you are giving an instruction. And your words are law to your own world. So money hears and obeys. But when you flip the script, when you declare with authority, "Every bill I receive is already paid in full, under grace, in perfect ways," then you are commanding differently. When you hold a dollar and say, "You multiply into thousands, into millions, under divine law of increase," then you are commanding differently. When you look at your bank account and speak, "Numbers rise, expand, overflow. Prosperity obeys my command because I am one with divine supply," then you are commanding differently. And the whole field around you begins to rearrange to match that decree. This is why your words are not just sounds. They are assignments. Every word you speak sends your money on a mission. The only question is, which mission have you been sending it on? Think of this right now as a reset. Every moment you've wasted worrying, begging, fearing. Wipe it clean. Today, you issue new orders. And as you do, heaven's law rushes to enforce it. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The divine does not resist your prosperity. The only thing that ever resists it is the doubt of your own tongue. The command is not earned. It is not given to a chosen few. It is already yours if only you will speak it. And this is where so many go wrong. They hesitate. They second guess. They think, what if it doesn't work? But listen closely. The universe doesn't answer your hesitation. It answers your certainty. Say it with me now. I command prosperity to multiply. Word by word, wealth obeys me. Under grace, in perfect ways. Pause. Say it again and again, until the vibration of those words begins to echo, louder than your doubts. Let me give you an image to hold in your mind. Imagine standing before a vast field of golden light. Each beam of light is a channel of supply, opportunities, connections, ideas, unexpected blessings. But none of them move until a word is spoken. Now you lift your voice. You say, expand, multiply, overflow. And suddenly, beams of light begin to rush toward you, converging, weaving together, forming streams of wealth that flow into your world. Do you see it? That is the picture of command. Prosperity does not trickle, it rushes when called. Now, if you are with me so far, let me plant this in your heart. Your command must be consistent. You cannot one day bless your money and the next curse it. You cannot one day call it abundant and the next call it scarce. Every time you contradict yourself, you confuse the energy. But when you stay steady, when every word out of your mouth aligns with increase, with expansion, with overflow, nothing can stop the multiplication. This is why I want you to practice a simple yet powerful daily act. Every morning, take whatever money is nearest to you, a coin, a bill, a card, even your bank app, and hold it. Then speak with authority. You multiply. You expand. You obey the law of increase. Do not whisper it timidly. Do not ask it as if it has a choice. Command it as one who knows that divine law enforces every decree. And here is the mystery. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes. The more natural it becomes, the more powerful it becomes. And soon you will find that money itself begins to seek you because it knows your voice. Let me say that again. Money will seek you because it knows your voice. This is the secret of those who always seem to attract wealth without strain. They are not chasing money. Money is chasing their command. And now, it is your turn. If this resonates with you, pause here and write in the comments, I command prosperity to multiply. Not just as a phrase, but as a decree that begins to shape your life from this moment forward. And if you are finding this teaching stirring something deep within you, subscribe now, because we are just beginning. Each word, each teaching is another command that reshapes the atmosphere of your wealth. Remember, prosperity waits for no one, but it will always respond to the one who commands. So speak, and watch it multiply. There is a hidden truth about wealth that very few people understand. Yet once you grasp it, your entire world begins to rearrange. Prosperity does not belong to the strongest, nor to the fastest, nor to the most educated. Prosperity belongs to the one who dares to speak with authority. Think about it. How many people do you know who work day and night, yet never seem to rise above struggle. And then, how many do you know who seem to glide through life, doors opening before them, opportunities appearing at every turn, money multiplying in their hands, almost as if by magic? It is not magic, it is command. Because words are not just sounds, they are forces. Every syllable you speak carries vibration, energy, and instruction. The ancient sages understood this. They knew that if you wanted your life to shift, you must first shift your tongue. That is why Scripture says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit." Do you hear it? Fruit, multiplication, increase. What you speak, you eat. What you declare, you dwell in. What you command, you collect. And here is where the mystery deepens. You are already commanding every day. Yes, every sigh of despair, every mutter of lack, every whisper of fear, those are commands too. The universe does not differentiate between the words you meant and the words you spoke carelessly. Energy obeys instruction without bias. So the question is never, am I commanding? The real question is, what have I been commanding? Let's go even deeper. Why does the act of commanding matter so much? Because command is alignment with divine authority. When you speak with command, you are echoing the very way creation was formed. God did not negotiate with the void. God did not plead with darkness. God spoke, "Let there be light," and light rushed to obey. That same pattern of creation is stamped within you. When you speak with conviction, your words carry the weight of creation itself. And money, being energy, hears and obeys. This is why I must ask you, have you been begging money, or have you been commanding it? Because the beggar posture only pushes it further away, but the commanding voice magnetizes it. Imagine, right now, standing in the middle of your living room, bills scattered on the table, numbers in your account looking smaller than your dreams. And instead of shrinking, instead of sighing, instead of worrying, you lift your head, you lift your voice, and you declare, "Money, you obey me. Prosperity, you multiply. Every bill is paid in full, under grace, in perfect ways. Wealth flows to me now by divine law, unstoppable, unshakable, undeniable." Do you feel the shift? It is as if the very room bends to your decree. Because it does. Command changes the atmosphere. And let me tell you, your money has been waiting for your voice. Now let's talk about consistency. Because one command shouted once will stir the energy. But a command repeated, lived, believed, and never contradicted, that is what rewires reality. This is why affirmations work for some and not for others. It is not about the phrase itself. It is about the authority behind it. Do you speak as one who hopes, or as one who knows? Let me show you the difference. The one who hopes says, "I hope I will have enough money." The one who knows says, "I always have more than enough. My supply is endless." The one who hopes says, "Maybe this bill will get paid somehow." The one who knows says, "Every bill I see is already paid in full. Abundance has gone before me." The one who hopes says, "I wish I could attract more." The one who knows says, "Money multiplies under my command. Wealth cannot resist me." Do you see it? One tone begs, the other commands. And only command multiplies. Now pause here with me. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself walking through your day. Instead of muttering worries, you are issuing decrees. Instead of thinking small, you are declaring expansion. Instead of fearing lack, you are commanding overflow. How different would your atmosphere feel? How different would the outcomes of your day look? Because here is the truth. You are never just speaking. You are programming the field around you. You are issuing assignments to your energy. You are writing the script that life must obey. This is why it matters that you choose your words with care. And this is why I urge you, not later, not tomorrow, not someday, but now, to begin commanding prosperity in every area of your life. Say it out loud with me. I command prosperity to multiply. Word by word, I expand. Wealth flows, abundance grows. Overflow is my new normal. Let that settle in your spirit. And if you are feeling the weight of this truth, I want you to pause and declare it in the comments right now. I command multiplication in my life. Do not underestimate this act. Every time you write it, you reinforce it. Every time you speak it, you strengthen it. And every time you repeat it, you send your money on a mission it cannot refuse. And if these words are awakening something in you, make sure you are subscribed. Because the deeper we go, the more these commands will align you with the flow of wealth itself. You do not want to miss the next revelation that could shift your life forever. Now let me leave you with this thought. Prosperity is not reluctant. It is not hiding. It is not ignoring you. It is standing at attention, waiting for one thing: your command. So, command. And watch it multiply. When you issue a command to money, you are not just speaking into thin air. You are invoking laws, ancient, invisible, unbreakable laws that govern wealth. Think of gravity. You don't have to see it to know it works. You don't have to believe in it for it to pull you downward. Whether you are aware of it or not, it is functioning, constant, unwavering. And prosperity has laws just as real, just as certain, just as unyielding. The difference? Most people live as if these laws do not exist, and because of that, their commands are weak, their words scattered, their results inconsistent. But once you understand the laws that back your voice, your command carries weight. It no longer feels like wishful thinking. It feels like divine decree. Let's uncover them together. Law 1. The law of alignment. Whatever you speak, you must embody. Command without alignment is noise. But command with alignment is thunder. You cannot declare, "I am rich," while carrying the energy of lack and expect multiplication. The universe listens not only to your lips, but to your vibration. So before you command, you align. You breathe. You center. You remind yourself, I am a vessel of divine supply. I lack nothing. I am one with the infinite. When you stand in this truth, your command vibrates through dimensions. Law 2. The law of belief. Jesus said, "According to your faith, it will be done to you." Notice, he didn't say according to your labor, or your striving, or your struggle. He said, faith. Faith is the magnet. Faith is the activator. Faith is the multiplier. Without belief, words collapse. But with belief, words take on flesh. They become tangible, solid, undeniable. So when you command prosperity, you must believe with such conviction that lack trembles at your voice. You must believe until your very cells echo, "It is done." Law 3, the law of repetition. Do you know why soldiers march? Do you know why chants are repeated in unison? Because repetition imprints command into the subconscious, and the subconscious is the true architect of your reality. This is why one declaration is not enough. You must return to it daily, morning and night, word by word, until it is no longer an affirmation. It is your identity. Say it with me now. I am abundance. I am overflow. I am multiplication. Feel the way your voice deepens each time you say it. That is the power of repetition reinforcing command. Law 4, the law of release. Once you have commanded, you must release. You cannot grasp. You cannot chase. You cannot strangle your seed with doubt. The farmer plants and walks away. He does not dig up the soil every day to check if the roots are forming. He trusts the law. So too must you trust once you've issued your command. Release the how. Release the when. Release the tension. You are not the manufacturer of wealth. You are the commander of flow. And flow cannot be forced, only directed. Law 5, the law of overflow. Here is a mystery most never see. Prosperity multiplies only in circulation. The tighter you grip, the less it grows. But the moment you release with wisdom, you activate the law of overflow. Your command is not only for yourself, it is for others. When you bless money as it leaves your hands, when you declare, "This multiplies and returns to me increased," you set it on a mission, and by law, it must come back with friends. Now pause for a moment. Let this settle in. Which of these laws have you been neglecting? Have you spoken without alignment? Have you commanded without belief? Have you affirmed once and then forgotten? Have you clutched instead of released? Have you hoarded instead of circulating? The good news is this. The moment you become aware, you regain power. And when you apply these laws with intention, your command becomes unstoppable. So let's put this into practice right now. Lift your voice and declare, "By divine law, I command prosperity to multiply. I align with abundance. I believe in increase. I repeat with power. I release with trust, and I overflow with wealth." Feel the surge? That is the law moving through you. Now let me ask you something. Do you want to keep drifting through life, hoping wealth finds you by chance? Or are you ready to live as one who commands, one who knows, one who multiplies, one who magnetizes riches by divine law? If your spirit is saying yes, then here is what I invite you to do. First, anchor this truth by writing in the comments, "I live by the laws of multiplication." This is not just interaction, it is activation. Every word you write reinforces the command in your subconscious. Second, make sure you are subscribed, because these teachings are not entertainment. They are alignment. Each new revelation builds on the last. And the moment you miss one, you miss a key that could unlock your next financial breakthrough. So stay connected, stay tuned, and stay commanding. Because wealth responds only to the voice of authority. And when you apply these laws, your authority cannot be denied. Now, let me leave you with this thought as we move forward. The laws of prosperity are impartial. They do not play favorites. They do not bend for some and not for others. They are universal, unchanging, eternal. And the one who learns to command within these laws, that one becomes untouchable. That one multiplies. That one transforms lack into overflow. And that one could be you. There is one silent partner in your financial life that most people overlook. It doesn't live in your wallet. It doesn't sit in your bank account. It doesn't even exist outside of you. It is your subconscious mind. The subconscious is the hidden engine of multiplication. It is the soil in which your commands are planted. It is the unseen scriptwriter, shaping every decision you make, every opportunity you notice, every door you either open or walk past. And here's the truth: your prosperity will never rise higher than the program of your subconscious. Think of it like this. Imagine your conscious mind is the captain of a ship. It gives the orders, sets the destination, announces the command. But the subconscious? That's the crew below deck. They're the ones rowing. They're the ones steering. They're the ones adjusting the sails. If the captain shouts, "We're going to abundance," but the crew below is still programmed for poverty waters, where do you think the ship will drift? That's right, back into familiar territory. This is why so many people affirm wealth, yet still experience lack. Their conscious command never reaches their subconscious crew. But once you train the subconscious to obey, it becomes automatic. It multiplies without strain. It magnetizes without resistance. It works while you are awake, and it keeps working while you sleep. So how do you train it? How do you reprogram this powerful engine so that it multiplies prosperity instead of lack? There are 3 steps. Step 1. Impress, don't argue. The subconscious does not respond to arguments. It does not respond to logic. It does not respond to debate. It responds to pictures. It responds to repetition. It responds to feeling. This is why affirmations must be spoken not as desperate pleas, but as settled truths. When you declare, "Money multiplies for me," you are not trying to convince your conscious mind. You are impressing an image into the subconscious. Picture it. Feel it. Live it as though it were already done. Because to the subconscious, imagination is reality. Step 2. Saturate with emotion. Words without emotion are empty. But words charged with feeling? They pierce directly into the subconscious. Do you remember a time someone said something to you with such power, whether uplifting or hurtful, that you never forgot it? That's because emotion stamped the message deep into your inner mind. So when you command prosperity, you must saturate your words with feeling. Say it with joy. Say it with gratitude. Say it with holy authority. Don't whisper it timidly. Declare it boldly. I command prosperity to multiply. I am wealthy by divine design. That fire in your tone, that energy in your chest, that is the currency your subconscious understands. Step 3. Repeat until it replaces. Your subconscious has been programmed for years, sometimes decades, with scarcity, fear, and doubt. You cannot expect one declaration to erase it all. You must repeat. You must return to the command daily, like water carving stone. Every morning before your mind is cluttered, every night before you drift into sleep, impress wealth into the subconscious. Because the subconscious is most open when the conscious is quiet. This is why nighttime commands are so powerful. As you sleep, your subconscious replays the last impression it received. If you fall asleep declaring, "I am wealthy, I am prosperous, I multiply with ease," those seeds grow while you dream. And when you wake, you rise with multiplication already at work. Now pause and consider this. What if every word you spoke tonight became the blueprint your subconscious built tomorrow? Would you be careless with your speech? Or would you speak wealth with precision, with purpose, with power? This is the secret the wealthy live by, often unconsciously. Their subconscious crew has been trained to expect multiplication, so everything they touch seems to prosper. It is not luck, it is programming. And the good news? You can program yours the same way. Let's do it together right now. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel the weight of lack lifting from your shoulders. And declare aloud, "My subconscious is aligned with wealth. It obeys my command. It multiplies prosperity even while I sleep." Every thought, every action, every decision now leads to increase. Breathe that in. Let it settle. This is not imagination. This is instruction. And the subconscious obeys. Now, let me ask you directly, because this is where transformation begins. Have you been commanding prosperity while still carrying the old program of lack? Have you been issuing orders as a captain while your crew below deck is still rowing toward poverty? If so, now is the moment to shift. Now is the moment to retrain. Now is the moment to saturate your subconscious with commands that multiply instead of diminish. Because once the subconscious is trained, wealth becomes natural. It becomes inevitable. It becomes automatic. And from that place, you don't chase money. Money chases you. Now here's your action step. Write in the comments right now, "My subconscious multiplies wealth on command." Why? Because writing it anchors it deeper. It is not just my words. It becomes your words. It becomes your truth. And while you're here, if you have not yet subscribed, do it now. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Because each new message we release is not entertainment, it's reprogramming. It's reinforcement. It's the next command your subconscious needs to hear. So don't drift past it. Stay connected. Stay commanding. Stay multiplying. Let me leave you with this thought before we move forward. The subconscious is a faithful servant. It does not choose. It obeys. It does not question. It executes. It does not create. It multiplies whatever seed is planted. The only question is, what commands are you giving it? Speak carelessly, and lack will multiply. Speak with authority, and wealth will multiply. And when you train your subconscious to obey your highest command, you won't have to push prosperity. It will come to you. Effortlessly, continuously, exponentially. Money listens. Yes, I said it. Money listens. It is not an object you chase. It is not a number on a screen. It is not a cold, lifeless symbol. Money is energy, and energy obeys command. Think about it. When you enter a room with confidence, people respond to your presence. When you speak with authority, even strangers pause to listen. When you carry yourself with certainty, doors open without explanation. Money is no different. It responds to certainty. It responds to command. It responds to those who know who they are and what they deserve. Here's the problem. Most people never speak to money. They talk about money. They complain about money. They worry about money, but they never actually command it. And so, money drifts. It wanders. It finds those who give it instruction, while avoiding those who sit in silence. Because money does not go where it is needed. Money goes where it is commanded. This is why you can meet someone who desperately needs finances, who prays endlessly, who begs the heavens for relief, and yet nothing shifts. And in the same city, you'll meet someone who simply decides, who issues a clear, confident command, and suddenly resources flow to them with ease. It's not unfair. It's not favoritism. It's law. The universe does not respond to desperation. It responds to direction. Let me ask you a piercing question. When was the last time you looked at your money and actually spoke to it? Not about it, to it. Because until you treat money as something that listens, you will always treat it as something that ignores you. Here is what I want you to try tonight. Take out a single bill, a coin, or even pull up your bank app. Look at those numbers and say with authority, "You are not leaving me empty. You are multiplying for me now. You obey my command to increase. Do not whisper. Do not mumble. Do not hope. Command." Some of you will feel silly the first time you do this. That's natural, because the old program of lack will fight you. But keep speaking, keep declaring, keep commanding, because with every word, your vibration shifts, your certainty grows, and your money begins to obey. Why does this work? Because words are not empty. Words are vibrations, and vibrations create resonance. When you speak with power, you send a frequency into the field of money itself. And money, like any energy, aligns to match. This is why you must never speak against your own wealth. Never say, "I'm broke." Never say, "Money never stays." Never say, "It's hard to make." Those words are commands too, and money obeys them just as faithfully. The wealthy know this. They may not call it spiritual law, but they live it. They speak as if multiplication is natural, because for them it is. I always find new opportunities. My money works for me. Wealth comes easily. They don't argue with these statements. They don't question them. They simply issue them, and money listens. So here's your truth today. If you want money to multiply, you must stop speaking lack and start issuing wealth commands. Say it aloud right now, wherever you are. Money obeys me. It multiplies for me. It returns to me in greater measure. Now, let me pause and speak directly to you, because I know someone listening right now is at the edge of giving up. You've been affirming, you've been trying, and you wonder, why isn't it working yet? Here is your answer. You have been asking money to come instead of commanding it to obey. Shift your posture, shift your tone, shift your identity. Do not beg money. Do not chase money. Do not bow to money. Stand as its master. Speak as its commander. Direct it as its rightful steward, and watch how quickly it begins to multiply. Highlight this. Here's what I want you to do right now. Type into the comments, "I command my money to multiply daily." Not later, not tomorrow, right now. Because that small act of writing anchors the command into your mind, your energy, your reality. And while you're here, if this message resonates, If you feel the shift stirring inside you, subscribe, stay connected, because each video is another command, another decree, another divine order over your finances. Do not walk this path halfway. Walk it fully. Now, let's go deeper. Why do some commands manifest instantly, while others seem to take time? The answer is alignment. When your command, your belief, and your action align, multiplication happens quickly. But when you command one thing while believing another, the signal is scrambled. Imagine giving two opposite orders to the same servant. Go north. No, go south. The servant stands still, confused. That's what many people do with money. They command multiplication with their mouth, but cancel it with their doubts, their fears, their careless speech. Money multiplies for me, they declare in the morning. But by afternoon, they sigh, this always happens to me. I never get ahead. Two opposite commands, one obedient servant, no movement. So what's the solution? Consistency, repetition, unwavering certainty. Even when you don't see it yet, keep commanding. Even when your account looks small, keep declaring. Even when circumstances scream the opposite, stand your ground and say, multiply, because your words are seeds. And just like a seed takes time to sprout, some commands are building under the surface before they break into visible abundance. Here is the truth most won't tell you. It is not the instant result that proves your command is working. It is the inner shift. When you speak and your energy rises. When you command and your fear fades. When you declare and your certainty strengthens. That is multiplication already at work. The harvest is guaranteed. So tonight, when you lay your head on the pillow, do not fall asleep in silence. Whisper the command. Money multiplies for me now. It grows while I rest. It returns to me in ways seen and unseen. And as you drift off, your subconscious records it. Your energy transmits it. The universe receives it. And money listens. There is a reason ancient texts speak about the power of the tongue. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. It is not poetry. It is instruction. Because your tongue is the tool of command. Your voice is the seal of authority. Your word is the gate through which wealth either enters or stays shut out. Think carefully about this. When the Creator spoke, worlds appeared. Light emerged. Order formed from chaos. He did not wish it. He did not hope for it. He spoke it. And in that moment, divine law was revealed. Creation happens through command. If the very fabric of existence responds to spoken word, why would money, the energy of provision, not do the same? Money was never meant to be your master. It was never meant to control your emotions, your days, or your choices. Money was always designed to be your servant, and servants obey the master's voice. So the question is not, will money obey me? The real question is, have I begun to speak to it with the authority I already carry? This is where scripture and manifestation meet. One tells you, ask and it shall be given. The other tells you, command and it shall obey. But both are pointing to the same truth. The unseen responds to the spoken. The invisible bends to the audible. Energy organizes itself when given direct order. Here's the mystery most overlook. Commands do not come from the lips alone. They come from identity. If you speak words of authority, but still see yourself as small, those words fall to the ground. If you issue decrees, but secretly fear poverty, your energy leaks into contradiction. This is why Jesus didn't say, "If you whisper to this mountain." He said, "If you say to this mountain, 'Be removed,' and do not doubt in your heart, it will obey." The command only works when it flows from certainty. Let me make this plain. Your money does not multiply just because you say it should. It multiplies when you embody the one whose words cannot return void. You don't try the command, you become the command. And when you become the command, lack cannot linger, because lack cannot disobey authority. Pause here. Let me ask you something personal. Do you see yourself as the commander of money or the chaste? Do you feel like the master of wealth or its beggar? Do you stand as one with authority or one praying for permission? This is the turning point. Because once you shift from begging to commanding, the game ends. Money is no longer a mystery. It is a servant under assignment. So let's go practical again. Take this decree and make it yours. Money, hear my voice. You are multiplying for me. You obey the command of divine law. You serve my purpose. You increase in my hand. Say it aloud. Say it often. Say it until your voice shakes the air with authority. Because every repetition engraves it deeper. Not just into your mind, but into the very field of wealth surrounding you. I know what some are thinking. But as this is so simple, why doesn't everyone do it? The answer is this. Not everyone is willing to shed the identity of the powerless. Not everyone is willing to release the comfort of victimhood. Not everyone is ready to embrace the weight of being the commander. Because the commander carries responsibility. The commander can no longer say, "I am broke." The commander can no longer blame circumstances. The commander must stand and speak as if their words create reality, because they do. Let me tell you a secret of the wealthy. They don't sit back and hope. They direct, they instruct, they declare. And even when they lose, they command a comeback. Even when things look empty, they issue words of increase. Even when storms rage, they call forth multiplication. Because they know the money is not the source. They are the source, and money is the servant. Right now, type into the comments, "I am the commander of my wealth." Don't just think it, declare it. Anchor it with action. Mark your place in this spiritual reality by writing it where others can see. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. Because this space is where you will be reminded, again and again, of who you are and what you carry. We are building a community of commanders, not beggars, not wishers, not doubters, commanders. Now lean in, because here's where it gets even more mysterious. Command does not require force. It requires alignment. A king does not scream at his servants. He speaks calmly, knowing they will obey. His certainty is the power. His quiet authority is louder than any shout. And so it is with money. If you speak your command with desperation, the energy scatters. But when you speak with calm certainty, the universe bends. It is not the volume of your voice. It is the authority behind it. This is why meditation, prayer, and stillness matter. They are not escapes from reality. They are the practice of alignment. They center you in the truth that you already carry authority. And from that place, your words cut through the noise. This is also why gratitude multiplies money. Because gratitude is not begging. It is commanding with assurance. It is saying, it is already done. When you thank before you see, you are speaking from the identity of completion. And completion carries the highest authority. Let me leave you with this decree tonight. By divine command, my wealth is multiplying now. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. And nothing can stop it, because nothing can resist authority spoken in truth. Say it, believe it, become it. Every command meets resistance, not because the law is broken, but because the old identity does not want to die. The moment you rise to speak with authority, echoes of your past voice appear. Voices that whispered, "You can't, you're not worthy, you don't deserve. Who are you to command wealth?" These echoes are not truth. They are residues of an outdated self, ghosts that vanish when faced with the fire of your new authority. Think of it this way. Every king once had to learn how to sit on the throne without trembling. Every queen once had to learn how to wear the crown without bowing to fear. And you too must learn how to issue commands without collapsing back into doubt. This is the hidden resistance. Not lack of money, not lack of opportunity, but lack of alignment between who you say you are and who you still secretly believe you are. So when you speak the words, "Money multiply," and a shadow voice answers, "But you failed before," know this: the shadow voice is not prophecy. It is memory. It cannot dictate your future unless you let it. It cannot cancel your command unless you agree with it. The only authority that voice has is the one you grant it. Here is the mystery. Every command calls forth a test. The universe asks, will you still speak when the old fear appears? Will you still command when the numbers don't yet show? Will you still stand when your emotions shake? Those who endure this test walk into multiplication. Those who collapse into silence remain servants of circumstance. This is why Scripture says, "Hold fast the confession of your faith without wavering, for he who promised is faithful." Pause. Let this sink in. Your job is not to create money. Your job is to command money. And your second job is to resist the temptation to cancel your command with contradiction. Because contradiction is the thief. Contradiction is when you say, "I am wealthy," and then later mutter, "I'm so broke." Contradiction is when you decree, "Money obeys me," and then speak defeat over bills. The law does not fail, but your words can collide with each other. And when your words collide, multiplication pauses. This is why Jesus warned, "Let your yes be yes, and your no be no." Because anything beyond that is confusion. Commands are not suggestions. Commands are not negotiations. Commands are not experiments. Commands are final. And the wealth law responds to finality. Here's the question. Are you willing to silence every contradiction? Are you willing to bite your tongue when the shadow self wants to speak defeat? Are you willing to stand steady when the numbers look small? Because here is the paradox. The smaller your numbers look, the louder your command must be. Now let's make this practical. Every time you see a bill, speak this decree. This bill is already paid in full. Money multiplies to meet it before it's due. Every time you feel the pull of worry, declare, "Worry is beneath me. I command prosperity, and prosperity obeys now." Every time someone around you speaks fear about money, Quietly affirm, I cancel every word of lack. I release multiplication into my life. This is how you break hidden resistance, not through arguments, not through force, but through the steady rhythm of command. I want you to pause right here and write in the comments. I silence contradiction. I command multiplication only. Yes, type it, because in doing so, you are not just consuming this teaching, you are embodying it. And each public declaration strengthens your authority in the spiritual field. And if this is feeding your spirit, subscribe. Stay close to this channel, because week after week, I will remind you of the voice you carry. We are not here to echo lack. We are here to command prosperity into visible form. Now let me take you deeper into a mystery most overlook. Command is not only about money. Command is about energy. When you command joy, your body responds. When you command peace, your atmosphere shifts. When you command wealth, resources rush to obey. The same law applies to all. And here's the truth. If you cannot command your own emotions, you will struggle to command money. Because money is energy, and energy responds to energy. So practice commanding your own inner world first. Say aloud, I command my mind to align with peace. I command my heart to rest in abundance. I command my words to speak only increase. Do you feel it? The shift? That is authority awakening. Because once you master command within, command without becomes effortless. Let's anchor this with scripture again. Peace, be still. 3 words, and the storm obeyed. Notice, Jesus didn't pray for the storm to stop. He didn't plead for calm. He commanded, and nature obeyed. The same authority runs in you. And if the winds and waves obey, how much more will money? How much more will opportunity? How much more will multiplication? But here's the final key for tonight. You must speak until it feels true. Because once it feels true, the subconscious obeys. And once the subconscious obeys, the universe mirrors. The repetition is not vain. It is the rewriting of your inner script. And the inner script is the throne from which you command. So decree this with me now. I silence every contradiction. I strip authority from every shadow voice. I am the commander, and money multiplies for me, without delay, without resistance, without end. Every command carries 2 hidden powers, timing and tone. You can say the right words at the wrong time and feel no effect. Or you can say them in the right rhythm and everything around you shifts. Think of it like music. A song without rhythm is just noise. But when rhythm enters, it carries you. It moves the body. It calms the mind. It awakens memory. In the same way, your financial decrees are not just words. They are rhythms of authority, and money responds to rhythm. Pause and reflect. What is the rhythm of your command? Do you speak it once in a rush and forget it? Or do you weave it like breath, morning and night, until your very heartbeat echoes with multiplication? Wealth is drawn not only to words, but to consistent vibration. Consistency creates inevitability. Look at the sunrise. It comes every morning, steady, predictable, unwavering, not hurried, not delayed, just faithful. That is how your command must become. Wealth does not respond to panic. Wealth does not obey desperation. Wealth obeys authority, spoken in calm, steady rhythm. Here's a truth hidden in plain sight. When you issue a decree once and forget it, it is like striking a single note on a piano. But when you repeat it with rhythm, every day, every morning, every night, it becomes a melody. And melodies linger. Melodies move. Melodies attract. Your decrees must become melody. They must play so consistently in your spirit that even in silence, the rhythm continues. So let's make this practical. Morning command. Before you reach for your phone, before you check your messages, pause and speak. Today, I command my money to multiply. Every action, every decision, every moment is infused with prosperity. Night command. Before sleep, whisper, I close this day in abundance. As I rest, wealth multiplies in unseen ways. My bank account rises overnight. Do you feel the rhythm? Morning and night, day after day, like the beating of a drum, and money moves in sync with that beat. This is why the ancients tied prayer to rhythm. 3 times a day, 7 times a day, rhythms of decree. Because rhythm wears grooves in the subconscious, and what is grooved becomes automatic. You are not trying to convince the universe. It already obeys law. You are training your own subconscious to believe the law enough to stop resisting it. Now, about tone. The universe hears what you say, but it also hears how you say it. You can whisper with trembling, and it will hear fear. You can shout in anger, and it will hear chaos. Or you can speak with calm certainty, and it will hear authority. Authority is not volume. Authority is clarity. Authority is conviction. Authority is the vibration that says, this is final. Let me remind you of this. When Jesus said, it is finished, he didn't argue, he didn't beg, he didn't explain. He declared, that is tone. Final, steady, irrevocable, and your money responds the same way. So here is your practice. 1. Set a rhythm, morning and night at minimum. 2. Anchor the tone, calm, steady, final. No pleading, no hoping, just commanding. 3. Protect the rhythm. Do not let doubt interrupt the flow. If you miss, return. If you falter, reset. Rhythm restores itself when you step back in. Light bulb, pause with me here. I want you to write in the comments, I set my rhythm. I anchor my tone. My money multiplies. Yes, write it. Because rhythm begins with one beat, and the beat begins the song. And if this message is striking something deep in you, subscribe. This channel is not for noise, it is for rhythm. Weekly reminders that carry you into command. Stay in this rhythm with me, and you will not collapse into old voices. Now, let's expand this mystery further. Wealth responds fastest when rhythm aligns with vision. When you not only command, but see. If your eyes picture lack while your mouth speaks wealth, the rhythm is fractured. But when your eyes and your words march in unison, vision and decree together, multiplication becomes unstoppable. Here's the exercise. When you speak your morning decree, close your eyes and see it. See the numbers rising. See the bills stamped, paid. See the accounts swelling with overflow. When you speak your night decree, imagine it already done. Feel the relief of wealth present. Rest in the joy of prosperity fulfilled, because sight fuels sound, and sound carries sight into form. Let me show you something beautiful. When the prophet was asked, What do you see? He did not say, nothing yet. He described the vision, no matter how small. I see a cloud the size of a man's hand, and that little vision, matched with command, pulled rain from the heavens. So too with you. Even the smallest glimpse of abundance, when matched with command, multiplies into downpour. Here's the final key for today. Your rhythm not only trains your subconscious, it trains money itself. Money begins to expect your voice. Like a servant, waiting at the door for the sound of the master. It grows familiar with your tone. It recognizes your authority, and it rushes to obey, because that is its design. So stand now in that rhythm, morning and night, tones steady, rhythm unbroken. Speak this aloud with me. I set the rhythm of wealth. I anchor the tone of command, and money multiplies for me without delay, without resistance, without end. Money does not move in fog. It waits for clarity. It does not follow confusion. It follows command. And this is why so many toil for years without multiplication. They work, they hustle, they plan, but their command is clouded. One moment they speak wealth, the next they speak lack. One day they decree increase, the next they complain of shortage. And the fog thickens. But hear this. Wealth responds to clarity. When the signal is clear, the response is immediate. When the decree is steady, the results are certain. Imagine a radio station. When the signal is faint, broken, interrupted, you hear static. But when the frequency is clear, the music flows. Your words are the signal. Your faith is the frequency. Your money responds to the clearest broadcast. Let me give you an image. Picture a wealthy merchant in an ancient market. He has dozens of servants awaiting his command, but his words are muffled, scattered, uncertain. Half the servants move, the others hesitate, some wander away. Now imagine that same merchant speaking clearly, concise, final, steady. At once, all servants rush to act. No hesitation, no delay. This is how money treats you. It hears your command, and the clearer your tone, the quicker the response. So let's look at the fog that blocks multiplication. Fog comes in three forms. 1. Contradiction, saying abundance one day, saying lack the next. 2. Confusion, speaking 10 different decrees, but never one steady law. 3. Comparison, weakening your command by measuring it against someone else's. Contradiction breaks rhythm. Confusion scatters energy. Comparison drains authority. Let's take them one by one. Contradiction. You speak, I am wealthy. But hours later, you say, I can't afford this. One command builds, the other tears down. It's like pouring water into a glass while poking holes in the bottom. What happens? The water drains. The effort leaks. The command dissolves. The fix, seal the holes. Make your words match your decree. No more I can't. Replace it with I choose. Not I don't have. Replace it with it is on its way. Confusion. You declare a dozen affirmations, but none long enough to root. Like planting seeds and digging them up each morning to see if they've grown. What happens? Nothing takes root. Nothing multiplies. The fix? Choose one law, one command, one decree that you repeat until it lives inside you. Let it root. Let it grow. Let it multiply. Comparison. You weaken your own decree by staring at another's harvest. Why do they prosper while I wait? Why did their command manifest faster than mine? Comparison muddies the frequency. It distracts from your signal. It makes your wealth wonder if you even want it, or if you just want another's path. The fix? Focus only on your command. Let another's harvest remind you that yours is certain. Bless their increase as proof that the law works, and return to your decree. Do you see it? Every fog is self-made, and every fog can be cleared. Clarity comes when you decide, this is my law. This is my command. This is final. So here's your practice. Step 1. Choose your decree. Pick one line, for example. I command money to multiply in perfect ways. Step 2. Guard your words. Refuse contradiction. No leaks. No holes. No undoing. Step 3. Repeat with rhythm. Morning, night, steady. Let it etch into your subconscious like grooves in stone. And I want you to do this now. Write in the comments your single decree. Just one. Not 10. Not 20. One. Because clarity multiplies. And when you put your decree in writing, you anchor it in law. Now let me share a hidden mystery. Clarity attracts speed. When the road is clear, the carriage moves faster. When the air is clear, the arrow flies straighter. When the command is clear, money obeys without delay. This is why some see rapid results. Days, hours, even moments. Their decree is clear, consistent, unwavering. No fog, no contradiction, no double-mindedness. The universe is quick to answer when the signal is sharp. So repeat after me, slowly, clearly, firmly. I release all contradiction. I dissolve all confusion. I abandon all comparison. My decree is clear. My wealth is certain. My money multiplies without delay. And let me pause here with a gentle reminder. If this message is stirring you, don't just pass by. Subscribe. Stay in the flow of these teachings. Because one command is powerful, but a rhythm of reminders will carry you farther. The enemy of clarity is distraction. But when you stay close to this channel, you stay close to clarity. Now listen closely, because here is the secret very few share. The universe doesn't just obey words. It obeys the energy behind words. You can speak wealth while secretly fearing lack, and the command wavers. But when your energy aligns, calm, certain, expectant, the words burn through the fog. This is why clarity is not only in words, but in being. It's not just saying, I am rich. It's becoming the one who knows it is so. And that is the difference between command that works and command that lingers. Command with fog delays. Command with clarity multiplies. Now let's seal this moment. Place your hand on your heart and speak. My decree is clear. My signal is sharp. My wealth multiplies in rhythm with my words. I command prosperity, and it obeys. A law has been spoken. The command has been given. The seed has been planted. And the harvest is already on its way. But let me tell you, wealth does not drift by accident. It is not luck. It is not chance. It is not a spin of fortune's wheel. Wealth arrives by command, by law, by word. And you, beloved, have spoken the word. Now hear me. Money has ears. Prosperity has memory. Increase has direction. And they all know your voice. The moment you spoke with clarity, the moment you declared with certainty, all of heaven and earth aligned. The rivers of supply turned toward you. The doors of abundance opened before you. The messengers of wealth began moving at once. Not later, not someday, at once. This is why you must never call your money lost. It is not lost. It is in motion. It is obeying. It is gathering. It is multiplying. Every decree you've spoken in this journey has set wealth in movement. Every word has carried a seed. Every seed has carried a harvest. And tonight, today, in this very breath, you are closer than you think. Now lean in, because I must reveal one final layer. Multiplication is not only about money. It is about you. When you command prosperity, you expand your own capacity. Your faith multiplies. Your vision multiplies. Your courage multiplies. Money only follows. The true multiplication begins within. This is why the ancients never prayed only for silver and gold. They prayed for wisdom, for vision, for courage, because when those multiplied, wealth obeyed without resistance. Do you see? Commanding prosperity is not begging coins. It is becoming the kind of soul that cannot help but overflow. You are not chasing wealth. You are becoming wealth. And as you become, money multiplies. Let's speak this together. Slowly, firmly, with rhythm. I am wealth in form. I am abundance in motion. I am increase in expression. I command multiplication. And multiplication obeys. Pause. Breathe. Let it sink into your bones. Now, let me ask you, has this word stirred you? Has it lit a flame inside you? Has it reminded you of who you truly are? Then don't keep silent. Comment your decree below. Seal it in writing. Write, I command my money to multiply, or your own version, because every decree written is a law established. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. Stay tethered to this rhythm because clarity fades when left alone. But in this circle, the fire stays burning. Every message here is designed to sharpen your decree, to multiply your clarity, to anchor your law until it cannot be shaken. You've come this far. Don't drift back into fog. Stay with the flow. Stay with the command. Now, let me close with a vision. Picture your bank account tonight. See the numbers as they are. Now, speak to them. Not as empty digits, not as mere figures, but as servants awaiting instruction. Say, you are not final. You are not fixed. You are multiplying even now. You rise by law, by word, by divine command. See it. Feel it. Know it. The numbers obey. The account obeys. The increase obeys. And so we end where we began, with command, with clarity, with certainty. Say it one last time with me, like a seal upon this journey. I command prosperity to multiply. I command my money to rise. I command increase in perfect ways. This is my word. This is my law. And so it is.